In today's daily text, we turn to the Bible and prayer to learn how Jehovah views marriage. By imitating the love of Jesus, husbands honor God, building a strong faith foundation within the congregation and enhancing their family's spirituality. Proverbs 31:28 describes a husband who rises up and praises his wife. Today, we discuss how small gestures, like holding hands, sending a text saying, "I miss you," or writing a card can have a massive impact. When a husband expresses sincere appreciation, he warms his wife's heart and makes her feel secure. Learn how to strengthen your marriage bond today. Imagine, if you will, the soft, fading golden light of a late afternoon sun filtering through the kitchen window of a modest home in a busy city. Inside, a faithful sister named Isabella is finishing the seemingly endless, repetitive tasks of the day. She has spent the morning in the field ministry, walking dusty streets to share the good news, her feet now aching and tired from the physical exertion. She has come home not to rest, but to manage the household accounts, anxiously stretching a limited budget to cover the rising costs of groceries and utilities. She has prepared a meal from scratch, cleaned the floors that seemed to get dirty again instantly, and cared for the complex emotional needs of her children, mediating their small disputes and helping them with their spiritual study projects. Now, as the sun dips lower, casting long shadows across the room, she stands at the sink, her hands immersed in warm, soapy water, washing the final pots. Her shoulders are slightly slumped under the invisible but heavy weight of fatigue. She feels efficient, yes. She knows she is dutiful. She knows she is a capable wife in the biblical sense. But in the quiet, vulnerable corners of her heart, she fights a silent battle. She wonders if she is truly seen. She wonders if the pouring out of her life, day after day, drop by drop, is simply expected, like a machine functioning as it should, or if it is cherished. She battles the whisper that says she is taken for granted, a fixture in the house rather than the queen of the home. Then, the front door opens. The sound of the latch clicking creates a small ripple of anticipation in her chest. Her husband, Lucas, walks in. He too is tired. He has spent a long day at a secular job that demands his mental energy, dealing with difficult clients and worldly attitudes. He also carries the weight of congregational responsibilities as an elder. Every instinct in his body tells him to walk past the kitchen, collapse on the sofa, check his phone, and disconnect from the world. But Lucas has been meditating on the example of Christ. He stops. He makes a conscious, spiritual decision to engage. He walks straight to the sink. He doesn't say a word at first. He gently places his hand on her shoulder, a touch that is warm, deliberate, and grounding. He waits for her to turn, and when she does, wiping a stray hair from her forehead with a wet hand, he looks her in the eyes, really looks at her, and smiles. "The house looks beautiful," he says softly, his voice cutting through the noise of the day. "But more importantly, I saw how patient you were with the children when I called earlier. I know you were tired, Isabella. I see it, but you are the heart of this family. I don't know what I would do without you." In that singular moment, the fatigue in Isabella's spirit evaporates. The soapy water, the aching feet, the budget worries, they all fade into the background. Why? Because her husband rose up. He took action to honor her. He praised her. He watered the flower of her heart with the refreshing dew of appreciation, and instantly she bloomed. The burden didn't disappear, but the strength to carry it returned. This domestic scene, simple as it may seem, captures the profound essence of our daily text from Proverbs 31:28. The scripture tells us that the husband of the capable wife rises up and praises her. The Hebrew phrasing here is dynamic. To rise up implies a deliberate change in posture. It implies effort. It implies that he does not remain seated in a passive state of entitlement, merely accepting her service as his due. No, he stands to acknowledge her. He elevates her in the presence of the household, and he speaks words that build her up. As we explore the counsel provided in our study material today, we are invited to look deeply at the emotional mechanics of a Christian marriage. We are living in a world that often degrades marriage, viewing it as a contract of convenience or a battle of the sexes. But Jehovah, the author of marriage, provides a higher standard. He teaches us that the glue of a strong marriage is not just commitment, but expressed affection and sincere appreciation. Let us first address the vital question: how can a husband show affection for his wife? Affection is the oxygen of a marriage. Without it, the relationship may survive on duty, but it will not thrive. It will suffocate. The Apostle John wrote in 1 John 3:18, "Little children, let us love, not in word or with the tongue, but in deed and truth." While this was written to the congregation regarding brotherly love, the principle applies with intense, concentrated force to the marital union. Love is not just a noun to be felt, it is a verb to be enacted. The Watchtower study notes that some happily married brothers make it a conscious habit, a spiritual discipline really, to do something every day to show their wife how much they love her. Notice the frequency. Every day. Not just on anniversaries, not just on Valentine's Day, which we do not celebrate, not just when they are in trouble and need to apologize, but every single day as a standard operating procedure of their life together. A husband may show tender affection in small ways that carry massive emotional weight. Consider the power of human touch. Science confirms what the Creator knew all along. Physical touch releases oxytocin, a bonding hormone that reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and creates a profound sense of safety. When a husband holds his wife's hand while they are walking to the Kingdom Hall, or when they are sitting on the couch reading the Bible, he is sending a powerful non-verbal signal. He is saying, "I am with you. We are a team. I cherish you." A warm embrace when leaving for work or returning home is not just a routine, it is a physical reconnection. It bridges the gap between their separate lives. For a wife, that physical contact can be a stabilizing force in a chaotic world. It reminds her that she is not fighting her battles alone, but has a partner who physically stands with her. But affection also travels through technology. We live in a digital age, and we can use these tools to build up our marriage. A husband may send his wife a text message in the middle of the day. It doesn't have to be a long poem or a complex theological thought. Simple words like "I miss you," or "I was just thinking about you," or asking "How is your day going?" can change the entire trajectory of her afternoon. Imagine a wife dealing with a stressful situation at her workplace, or perhaps feeling lonely at home with young children. Her phone buzzes. She looks down and sees her husband's name. In that moment, she realizes she is on his mind. He has paused his work, paused his routine to reach out to her. That small digital message tells her that she is a priority. It tells her that even when they are apart, they are connected. It is a modern way of rising up to acknowledge her value. Furthermore, there is the lost art of the handwritten note. From time to time, a husband may express his love by writing some well-chosen words on a card. There is something permanent and deeply personal about ink on paper. A text message can be deleted or lost in a feed. A card is often kept in a drawer for years, taken out and reread when days are dark. A husband who takes the time to sit down, choose a card, and write out why he loves his wife is honoring her in a special way. He is articulating his feelings. He might write about her loyalty, her beauty, her spiritual strength, or simply thank her for being his best friend. He might list 3 specific things she did that week that he appreciated. When a husband does these things, touch, text, write, he honors his wife and strengthens their marriage. He is building a wall of fire around their union, making it resilient against the attacks of the world. Now let us consider the second searching question. Why should a husband praise his wife? Praise is not flattery. Flattery is manipulative and insincere. It is used to get something. Praise is the recognition of value. It is used to give something. When we praise Jehovah, we are acknowledging his attributes and his works. When a husband praises his wife, he is acknowledging her value as a daughter of Jehovah and as his partner. The study material reminds us that a husband who honors his wife builds her up and encourages her. The world we live in is constantly tearing people down. A wife may face criticism at work. She may feel judged by societal standards of beauty or success, or she may struggle with her own feelings of inadequacy and imperfection. Her home should be a sanctuary where she is built up, not torn down. Her husband should be her greatest cheerleader, not her harshest critic. One specific way a husband does this is by remembering to show appreciation for all that she does to support him. Colossians 3:15 gives the command, "Show yourselves thankful." Do we take the domestic and spiritual support of a wife for granted? It is easy to stop noticing the clean clothes that appear in the drawer, the prepared meals, the organized schedule, or the spiritual support she provides by getting the family ready for meetings. When a husband stops noticing, he stops praising. And when praise stops, resentment often begins to grow like a weed in a neglected garden. Consider the example of an older couple, Arthur and Martha. They had been married for 40 years. Martha's health was declining, and she could no longer do the vigorous work she once did in the pioneer service. She felt useless. Arthur noticed her sadness. He decided to apply Proverbs 31:28. Every morning at breakfast, he started a new tradition. He would look at her and say, "Martha, thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you for the years you supported me when I was a busy elder. Your endurance is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen." He didn't praise her for what she could do now, but for who she was and what she had done. The reaction was profound. Martha's countenance changed. She felt validated. The praise warmed her heart, as the Watchtower says. A wife who is praised feels secure. She knows where she stands. She doesn't have to wonder if her husband is happy with her. He has told her. She feels loved, not just for her utility, but for her essence. And she feels honored. To honor someone means to assign them a high value, to treat them as precious gold. This practice of praising and showing affection is deeply rooted in the example of Jesus Christ. How does Jesus treat his symbolic wife, the congregation? Does he constantly berate her for her imperfections? Does he ignore her? No. Ephesians 5:29 tells us that no man ever hated his own body, but he feeds and cherishes it, just as the Christ does the congregation. The word cherish creates a picture of warmth, of protecting something delicate and valuable from the cold wind. Jesus praises the congregation. In the messages to the 7 congregations in Revelation, even when giving necessary counsel, Jesus often began with warm commendation, acknowledging their hard work, their endurance, and their love. Husbands are commanded to imitate this model. If the Son of God, who is perfect, can find reasons to praise imperfect humans, surely an imperfect husband can find reasons to praise his imperfect yet loyal wife. Moreover, this dynamic of praise and affection has a spiritual ripple effect. A wife who feels loved and honored is more likely to find joy in her role. She is more likely to show respect to her husband, as commanded in the Scriptures, because that respect has been earned and nurtured by his love. It creates a positive cycle. Love begets respect, and respect begets love. Conversely, a husband who is cold, critical, or silent creates a negative cycle, where the wife feels insecure and unappreciated, which can lead to friction and a weakening of the spiritual bond. Let's go deeper into the practical application. What stops a husband from rising up and praising? Sometimes it is simply a lack of role models. Perhaps he grew up in a home where his father never praised his mother, where affection was seen as weakness or something unmanly. He may feel awkward or vulnerable expressing his feelings. He might think, "She knows I love her. I work hard for her every day. I pay the bills. That is my praise." But she doesn't know, not unless he tells her. She cannot read his mind. She can only read his actions and hear his words. A Christian husband must overcome his cultural conditioning or his personal upbringing. He must put on the new personality, which includes tender affection. He must realize that being like Jesus means being expressive with love. It takes a strong man to be gentle. Another barrier is the busyness of life. We are all running a race against the clock. By the time the day is over, we are depleted. We have nothing left to give. But this is exactly when the sacrifice of praise is most needed. To rise up when you are tired requires strength. It requires prioritizing the marriage above the fatigue. It means putting the phone down, turning off the TV, and engaging with the living, breathing gift Jehovah has given you. Consider the challenge of a 30-day praise project. What if, for the next month, a husband committed to praising his wife for one specific thing every day? On Monday, it might be her cooking. On Tuesday, her spiritual comment at the meeting. On Wednesday, her patience with a difficult relative. On Thursday, her smile. By the end of the month, the husband's own mind would be retrained to look for the good, to scan for the positive, and the wife would be living in an atmosphere of appreciation. This changes the culture of the home. Think about the Shulamite maiden and the shepherd in the Song of Solomon. Their language to each other is filled with affirmation and delight. "How beautiful you are, my love," the shepherd says. He notices her eyes, her hair, her voice. He validates her. This is not just poetry, it is a template for marital intimacy. In a world that objectifies women or treats them as competitors, a Christian husband provides a safe harbor where his wife knows she is the lily among thorns. She knows she is the only one for him. For the husbands reading this today, you have a power in your hands that is immense. Your words have the power to change the atmosphere of your home from cold to warm in seconds. Your touch has the power to heal the stresses of your wife's day. Do not withhold good when it is in the power of your hand to do it. Start today. Look for one thing your wife did this morning. Maybe she made the bed. Maybe she handled a difficult phone call with grace. Maybe she simply greeted you with a smile. Mention it. Verbalize it. Text her right now if you are apart. Write that card you have been thinking about. Rise up. For the wives, when your husband tries, even if it is clumsy at first, receive it. Let him know that his words mean something to you. Marriage is a dance of two imperfect people trying to move to the rhythm of Jehovah's principles. Your response to his praise encourages him to continue. We must also acknowledge that some reading this may be in difficult marriages, or marriages where the partner is not a believer. The principle, however, remains a lamp. Even in a religiously divided household, a believing husband can win his wife over by his tender conduct. And for a sister whose husband does not yet apply these principles, know that Jehovah sees your hard work. He is the ultimate husbandly owner of his people. He rises up and praises you through his word and through the encouragement of the congregation. You are valued beyond measure in his eyes. Ultimately, a marriage that is filled with affection and praise is a testimony to Jehovah. It reflects the beauty of his arrangement. It serves as a witness to neighbors and children. Children who see their father honoring their mother grow up with a healthy view of love and respect. They feel secure because the foundation of their home, the parents' relationship, is solid. They learn how to treat their future spouses. Let us return to the image of Lucas at the sink, holding Isabella's hand. It is a small moment in time, but it echoes in eternity. It is an act of obedience to God. It is an act of love. It is the application of Proverbs 31:28. As we move through this week, may we all look for ways to be doers of the word. May we rise up out of our complacency. May we speak words that heal and strengthen. May our marriages be beacons of warmth in a cold world, proving that Jehovah's way is indeed the best way. Let us resolve, under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, to make our homes places where praise is fluent and affection is abundant. By doing so, we not only save our marriages, but we also bring glory to the one who created the very concept of love, our happy God, Jehovah. What a beautiful privilege it is to reflect the love of Christ in our own homes, treating our spouses not just as partners in life, but as the precious, fragile, and honorable gifts from Jehovah that they truly are.